Well, EA have actually made a pretty bold claim on what FC26 is going to be like. There was an interview with an EA producer, and he made some pretty bold statements that we're going to get into in today's video. And you can be the judge yourself on whether you believe these statements or not. But I have a strange feeling the choice most of you are going to make. We'll talk about it. There is some FC25 stuff too, some leaks for the next Shapeshifters team. So we'll go and look at some of that stuff as well. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. But of course, thank you guys for watching and being here this late into the FIFA cycle. I did pack this R9 today, by the way. If any of you have an Evo with this Technical Plus R9 that you have done with him during the course of this year, how much have you liked him? Because I was actually trying to do enough repeatable icon picks to get this card or the Mia Hamm Winter Wild card, or obviously like the bigger R9 and stuff like that, but I knew I wasn't going to get those guys. I was trying to get this R9. I realized he actually does not fit into the Strike Force Evo. I actually thought he did, and I was super excited, but I guess he doesn't fit in this. But if you have used that R9 card for any part of this year, let me know if you've liked him, but that's kind of a random side note here. Content has been content. We don't need to talk about it that much. I mean, it's been a pretty clear shift in what EA want you to do right now, and let's think about next year's game with all the icon stuff we talked about yesterday and all of the rumors and leaks and stuff like that we have got right now. I actually think Spinazzola, though, low-key, will kind of be nuts. Reason being 99 base pace, give him chem styles, and I like his play styles a lot, actually. But anyway, yeah, good card, but the content, we know what it's like right now. The exchanges will expire on Friday content, so that's going to be interesting to see. But okay, let's get into some of this stuff now. So we'll start off here with the FC26 stuff that EA claims about the next game. So Sam Rivera, who's a producer apparently for EA Sports, I don't know what he does or what his title is, I guess, other than producer. He went on a podcast today and in Spanish, so I won't show you the full clips here, but I'll show you the translation. He went on and basically made some claims about next year's game, which for one is just interesting because we don't really see EA usually do this. You'll see them kind of do this when the pitch notes come out for next year's game, like during the blog posts and stuff like that on the EA websites, but never just a producer going on a random podcast and talking to people saying this kind of stuff. So let's see what he has to say here. The translations here, the only thing I can say is that we have never worked so closely with the community. We're giving a huge priority to exactly what the community has told us they want us to improve in the game. We've always listened, but now we are fully integrated into the community for the next game. When we play the new game and then the old one, we feel the difference. The difference I'm feeling today, I've probably never seen such a big difference. And in the Spanish tweet here, he says that it's the gameplay, right? Testing the gameplay between the two feels completely different, apparently, which is interesting because the past, I would say, 3-4 years, maybe even since the start of next gen, if you want to be super picky, has really felt like mostly the same gameplay, the same direct passing, auto drop back gameplay have really all felt very similar. Play styles made a difference between 23 and 24, but the auto drop back and core mechanics have felt pretty similar from year on year since the transition to next gen. So, obviously talk is cheap, right? Does this mean anything? Maybe not. But the fact that they are saying that is just interesting to me because I think we all can agree we need a pretty big change. Some people say that you just change a couple things and the gameplay actually can be pretty good. I think it actually can be as well, but if you want to make a gameplay that's like undeniably fun, it's got to change quite a bit, right? And obviously saying this stuff like they're listening to us now, I guess more than they had before. I like the caveat. It's like, no, we always listen, but like especially now. It's like, okay, whatever, I guess. But what does that mean for gameplay that they're listening to us? I guess like faster gameplay. I think most of us have kind of wanted for a while. I mean, the biggest thing obviously is just the delay, right? I mean, the responsiveness is the biggest thing, and I don't know how they go about fixing that. That topic has been talked to death at this point, but going about fixing it, I don't even know if that's possible at this point. We will see. But Mateus Gamer as well was chiming in here saying, if there's one aspect that devs are tired of hearing from me, it's dividing the gameplay to satisfy both offline and online. So he's saying, because Mateus Gamer is one of the best sources regarding like next year's games always, he says that he wants it to be divided in terms of offline and online gameplay. That way we can have more fun online gameplay and more realistic offline gameplay instead of this balance between the two that we've been seeing the past few years that, as we know, the game since FIFA 17 and that era has really slowed down significantly since that point to make it more realistic. Whereas I think nowadays a lot of fans want that faster, fluid gameplay, the online players specifically, and we have sliders and stuff like that to manipulate the offline gameplay if you want to make it slower. Instead, they've been kind of caught in this in-between where they're trying to improve both, it feels like. Clearly, it has hasn't worked, right? So maybe this is that first year where that is not the case. That's what Mateus Gamer's trying to say. He's been trying to make the case to do that. And with them saying they're listening to us more and more, I mean, I don't even know what that means. What does the gameplay look like? Maybe it'll be faster, more fluid, I guess, or it's just straight buzzwords. But saying that the game is going to be different, I guess the game to a certain extent has to be somewhat different. Otherwise, they'd be just straight up lying. To what extent they might be gassing it, obviously, it might not be that much different. But if what he's saying is at least partly true, it should be a bigger leap between these years of next-gen gameplay than we probably have seen before. And obviously yet to be determined what that looks like with like maybe open world stuff that's been rumored for next year's game. But we're not even sure if it's going to be FC26, if the open world stuff will be in next year's game, or if that'll be FC27. Not that many of us care about the open world. I think almost none of us do. But he strictly said it's going to be much different gameplay-wise. So we obviously can only hope and wait and see. But just interesting that any EA dev, basically, or producer, you can call it, is going on podcasts talking about gameplay. But FC26 in June, I mean, it just once again shows you why we have these leaks already. EA are clearly ready to move on. Now, there's also this from Detective Futt here. He says, FC26 details, you can now see the skill move and weak foot of both you and your opponent's selected player in game. The more the icons are shaded in black, the more stars the player has, e.g. Dembele is 5/5, so both icons are completely black. Useful or just more irrelevant features. So honestly, I don't know what he means here apart from like this power bar. They'll be more shaded if they have more skill moves or weak foot, because I actually low-key think seeing the player's skill move and weak foot can sometimes be kind of useful, right? In terms of the players you're playing against. You should know your own player's weak foot and skill moves, but the players you're playing against, it might be nice to know if he has a 5-star weak foot, then you can play kind of defense a little bit differently. But the way it's implemented, if that's the case, with these like weird icons shaded in black, I'm not sure if that's necessarily going to be the best way to implement that, but I do think it's actually kind of a useful thing to know. But this description just might be kind of shitty as well, so we'll see. But yeah, that's the only Detective Futt kind of tweet of the day. As we just continue to get more and more FC26 stuff, we have more here. We got partners, actually. So not only is the Liga MX coming into next year's game, there's also going to be these 4 clubs as like partners. So stadiums will be in there, chants will be in there for these teams, the face scans too, or these 4 Liga MX teams. So you Mexican fans out there are going to be loving this one. And somehow, some way, we already have the flashback design leaked for FC26. Like, this is, I don't know how this is even possible. I knew the showdowns made no sense either, but the flashbacks we already have, I mean, the design is crazy good. Like, don't get me wrong, the design looks amazing, but how do we have this information already? Don't ask me. But one person we will not be getting a flashback for next year, we know for sure. Well, actually, we don't know for sure, because Brazilian League is still possible. Certain clubs in the Brazilian League is still possible for the licenses next year. There's been a lot of rumors about that, but Neymar has re-signed with Santos. So unfortunately, no Neymar next year, it looks like, as of right now, unless EA have secured the Santos license. But you know who will be back? And that's Paul Pogba. Pogba's gonna be back. He signed with Monaco. He could even be added in this year's game, still possibly. We know that Yamal was added last year, right? So it's possible that Pogba could be added, but it'll definitely be in next year's game, who I'm sure we'll see a flashback Pogba at some point, which I will be there no matter what. But yeah, we can now talk about FC25 stuff here, and that's this. So we have some Shapeshifters Team 3 stuff we'll look at in a sec, but firstly, the Path to Glory cards we saw yesterday, we have official stats for right now, and some of them look pretty amazing. There is Rolfo, who's got a really unique combo of playstyles with low driven, anticipate, technical, and incisive. Really nice card there. Wrighton as well looks pretty awesome. Gioro, all of them with 4 playstyle pluses, by the way. Medema, Salma, Paredes, can't say that name, I'll get demonetized. Young's daughter, Cascarino, some nice cards in here, and obviously they are upgradable as well, which makes them even better. So yeah, if you want to look through here closer, you can, but I just wanted to show you that very quickly here. And now let's get on to the Shapeshifters Team 3 stuff. So Eusebio, official stats here. We had a 5 playstyle plus Eusebio, and what is there to say about this card? I mean, you won't see him, you won't be able to afford him, and he's basically 99s on pace, shooting, and dribbling. So okay, this guy with an engine is like 99's everything. So yeah, that's a crazy card here. Then we got our other like big hero, and that's this Yaya Toure card. Official stats as well. Aerial, quick step, incisive, finesse. A striker Yaya Toure. Cool if he can play cam. Yeah, I agree with this guy here. I think he'll be a really cool cam, honestly, especially considering he can track back with that 91 defending there. And then we'll look at like the other cards we got leaked all at once here, and these are official stats as well. So this left back Kelly Smith, who apparently is now American, I don't know how that happened, but Finesse Pinged Rapid Jockey Intercept. That's a really interesting card. I don't know what to really make of that. It's a unique set of playstyle pluses, which I guess is kind of cool. Kingsley Coman Striker 98, first touch, rapid, low-driven finesse. Sure. Sadio Mane is there as well with a pretty nice card in there. Does everybody have low-driven? I mean, good God. Eusebio, Coman, Mane, and Diallo all have low-driven plus here. EA loves giving everybody that. But then, yeah, Amad Diallo down there, and we saw those last two. And there is one more that's not on this, like, big graphic here, and that's center mid Iker Casillas, which... okay. Pinged, anticipate, long ball, technical. Sure, cool stats in there as well. But yeah, that's all we got for team 3 here. And goalkeeper center mids are usually insane. So I do kind of wonder if this Casillas is going to also be insane. But no SBCs yet. No word on that. So that's kind of interesting. Right now, I think the biggest SBC out is like a few 100K. Or is it Taram? I think Taram's out still, right? It was like 400 or 500K. It's the biggest SBC out right now. So maybe it's time for a bigger one. But I guess because EA knows we have exchanges, we're probably not going to see that. We'll see more half SBCs, half Evos, just because fuck you. But also there actually is one more player I didn't see yet, and that's Phil Foden. So Foden also will be in there. And apparently Foden, like, everyone loved his team of the year card. I'm sorry, I can't speak. That team of the year card was an honorable mention, I think. People loved that card, so he's got another one on the way. But okay, still not done with this yet. We have another center mid Evo leak, which kind of looks similar to what we just got. This one's max 93, tiki taka plus, ping to pass plus, low driven, gains the cam position, max 3 positions, 3 playstyle pluses, 10 regular playstyles here. If you want a card with pretty high stats that does fit in this, you got obviously Danny Olmo here, but then this Elmas card fits with 94 pace, 94 dribbling, and 3 playstyle pluses there. But there were a lot of cards that actually didn't fit that you thought might. So there might be a couple like weird requirements in this. Like this De Jong card, right? This card does not fit, and you would think maybe he would. He doesn't have many crazy stats, so maybe defending and physical is too high there. Not really sure, but that's kind of one example of a card you might figure would fit in there. And okay, for the market right now, I kind of explained the fodder situation in yesterday's video, that if you want to go watch that, you can. If you didn't see that, how that might end up being an issue maybe in like a week's time or so. That fodder might get more expensive. But anyway, with like this stuff, Rivals Rewards is tonight. It's probably your best bet to buy if you want to, but honestly, Shapeshifters Team 1 did not do very good out of packs, so I would assume the same thing for Team 2. And you got to remember as well that I'm assuming we'll get Team 3, and then the 4th week of Shapeshifters is probably all them back in packs, if I had to guess, so you got to include that into this as well. And you've got like a week maybe off, and then they might go all back into packs again. So anyway, the market not going to be like that great in terms of long-term outlook, but if you want to buy for like this weekend league, maybe tonight is your best bet, but there's really no great time, especially considering Kaká and Leao are getting achieved by more people, more attackers being sold right now. But yeah, that's kind of what I gotta say. And I would assume we'll get a big SBC at some point soon. You'd have to assume that in the summer. Okay, let's read some of your comments now. We've got 2-inch beta. No rapid plus on Robin is madness. I was actually thinking about this. That does make sense, but I feel like the cut inside finesse for Robin is just like, that's his thing, right? So that's kind of the finesse shot. But would Robin have rapid or quick step for one as well? I mean, how do you even differentiate that between players? But would it be rapid or quick step? And then also, does he deserve that over finesse shot plus? Because low-key, Robin and technical plus, that could kind of work too, I feel like. I don't know. He deserves a lot of them, obviously. But it actually is pretty fun to think about, like, what icons will get what, you know? Like, for example, Z-Byte saying, like, Totti should get power shot. I was seeing, like, 4 different ones for Totti. Marcelo, I was seeing, like, rapid for Marcelo. I was seeing first touch, technical for Marcelo. Like, it's pretty fun thinking about what they could do. And I also asked yesterday which one you liked better, the old system of icons with the base, mid, and prime, or the promo icons, and it was pretty split 50-50. I think is it Scoo or Skull, I apologize, says here, I like the promo icons better, but I really miss the different player models. I wish the Immortals Del Piero was the old mid model, 97-98 season with long hair. Also gives the opportunity to get the R9 with the O2 haircut, Pirlo with the beard, etc. That's what I definitely miss. I wish, like, for the future stars icons, they would make them the young versions if they had that still from back like a couple of years ago, and then like certain ones, maybe like the Immortals one, give them the old version or something like that, right? I think they've done that a couple times before, but more consistently would be awesome. Because yeah, it is kind of weird, like a future stars Bale and he looks like, you know, the old version of Gareth Bale. That to me is like the next step for them when they do a flashback or something like that, because they have recently changed it to, like, remember the flashback Neymar, his picture was different, flashback Ronaldo, you know, younger pictures. But making a model in game, I know it probably can take a lot of time, and some players it's not possible, but some players, if you have the model already there, like maybe do a flashback to blonde Messi, right? Remember the blonde Messi period? Like that'd be kind of a cool little flashback. It'd make people want to do the SBC so much more, you know, that there's no way you you wouldn't make more money off that. Of people buying store packs to want to do the messy flashback because he has like blonde hair now. There's no way you're not making more money off that. And it just makes it like more immersive and more fun that way. I feel like they're missing a pretty big opportunity there, honestly. And yes, it's slightly more work, but like, do you not have the resources for that? And you'll make more money anyway. So I don't know. And also, yeah, it was pretty funny seeing certain people just like, you know, so excited over the icon stuff. And it's like, FC26 is going to be amazing. And it's like, you can get excited for this kind of thing and also be aware that if they don't fix and make gameplay better, what's the difference, right? We got it. That's step one here. And we're not going to know that until we get our hands on it. We'll know some stuff like in the gameplay deep dive they'll do, but we won't know for sure until we get our hands on it. But yeah, it's always important to remember that no matter what you hear, the gameplay being better is the #1 thing, I think. Even over myself and how much I love the menu grind stuff, the gameplay being better is for sure to me the #1 priority no matter what. But I think that's it for me. Thank you guys all for watching and being here today. I love y'all. So, peace.